Have you ever wondered about the life and rule of King Minos, the most prominent figure of the Minoan civilization? Let's begin our journey with the intriguing birth of this legendary king. Minos was not just any king. His lineage was a divine cocktail of gods and mortals. His mother, Europa, was a beautiful Phoenician princess, and his father was none other than Zeus, the king of the gods. In a classic tale of divine romance, Zeus, smitten by Europa's beauty, transformed himself into a handsome bull to win her affections. Europa, captivated by the majestic creature, hopped onto its back, only to be whisked away across the sea to the island of Crete. The Dictaean cave, atop the highest mountain of Crete, served as the backdrop to this divine love story. It was here that Zeus revealed his true form to Europa, and it was here that Minos and his brothers, Rhadamanthus and Sarpedon, were born. But as is the way with gods, Zeus had to leave Europa to return to Mount Olympus. Before his departure, however, Zeus bestowed upon Europa 3 gifts. The first was a bow that could never miss its target, an invaluable tool in a world where might often made right. The second was a guard dog named Lalepa, from whom no one could escape, a symbol of protection and loyalty. Lastly, he gave her Talos, a mythical metallic being, a gift that echoed Zeus's own divine power. These gifts were not just tokens of affection, but also tools of survival, for the world they were a part of was as dangerous as it was beautiful, and thus, on the island of Crete, Minos was born, destined for greatness. As the son of Zeus, he was part god, part mortal, and entirely unique. His life was set to be a fascinating blend of myth and reality, governed by both divine will and human choice. But that's a tale for another time, as our focus now shifts to how this child of Zeus and Europa rose to become King Minos, the ruler of the Minoan civilization. From the moment of his birth, Minos was destined to rule. And rule he did over the city of Knossos, seated comfortably at the zenith of the Minoan civilization. But how did this son of Zeus and Europa come to power? Minos' ascension to the throne was not a matter of simple inheritance. Rather, it was a testament to his divine lineage and his close, ongoing relationship with Zeus. Their bond was so strong that every 9 years, Minos would engage in a direct conversation with his father, discussing new laws to guide his realm. This divine counsel, coupled with his natural leadership, set Minos on course to be one of the most influential rulers of his time. But Minos wasn't just a king in name or by blood. His name itself was a title, translating to governor in the ancient Cretan language. This title resonated with his people and echoed his authority throughout the land. Minos' rule was characterized by unification and consolidation. He gathered all the cities of Knossos, which had been scattered and disjointed, and brought them together under one kingdom. This act of unification not only fortified the cities, but also amplified the influence and reach of the Minoan civilization. His reign wasn't limited to the borders of Crete. Minos' influence extended far beyond, transforming Knossos into a supreme naval power in the region. Through his strategic and judicious rule, he shaped Knossos into a formidable kingdom that was respected and feared by others. As a ruler, Minos was just and fair, embodying the righteous laws that Zeus had imparted to him. His rule was so unimpeachable that it was said he later served as the chief judge of Hades, evaluating the actions of the dead. With the power vested in him by Zeus himself, Minos became a force to be reckoned with. His rise to power wasn't just about gaining a throne or ruling a kingdom, it was about creating a legacy, setting a benchmark for leadership, and shaping the course of history in the ancient world. King Minos wasn't just a ruler of the land, but also of the sea. He understood the importance of naval power in establishing and maintaining his kingdom. As an island, Crete was perfectly positioned to take advantage of the Mediterranean Sea, and Minos was the first to seize this opportunity. He established the Minoan navy, marking the advent of naval dominance in the region. This was no ordinary feat. It required not just resources and manpower, but also strategic planning and a vision for the future. Minos had all of these in abundance. His navy was not just for defense, but also for exploration and expansion. With the strength of his naval fleet, Minos extended his rule across the Mediterranean, turning Crete into a formidable power. But Minos' rule was not characterized by domination alone. He was known for his just laws, which he claimed were given to him by Zeus himself. Every 9 years, he would be in direct contact with Zeus, discussing new laws for his kingdom. This divine guidance was said to have helped him rule in a fair and righteous manner. earning him the respect of his subjects and the admiration of other kingdoms. His laws were not just for his own kingdom, but were also promoted across the regions he conquered. This was the beginning of a legal system that was based on fairness and justice. It was a testament to Minos' wisdom and his desire to create a civilized society. His naval dominance, coupled with his just rule, transformed Crete from a mere island to a naval superpower. It was a golden age for the Minoans, and much of it was due to the leadership of King Minos. His name became synonymous with power, justice, and naval supremacy. Under Minos' rule, Crete wasn't just an island, but a naval superpower. His legacy was not just in the expansion of his kingdom, but also in the establishment of a just and fair society that was admired by many. However, with great power often comes great challenges. And for King Minos, this challenge arrived in the form of a creature known to us as the Minotaur. This creature, a grotesque hybrid of man and bull, was not born of natural means, but rather it was the result of divine wrath. You see, in his pride, King Minos had managed to anger Poseidon, the god of the sea. Poseidon's punishment was swift and cruel. He caused Pasiphae, Minos' wife, to fall in love with a majestic bull. From this unnatural union, the Minotaur was born, a constant reminder to Minos of his folly. The Minotaur was no ordinary creature. It was a beast with a voracious appetite for human flesh, and its labyrinth was its hunting ground. To appease the beast and perhaps to atone for his sins, King Minos demanded a tribute from the city of Athens. Every 9 years, 7 young men and 7 young women were sent to the labyrinth as a sacrifice to the Minotaur. This gruesome tale, as fantastical as it may seem, is a significant part of King Minos' legacy. However, it is important to note that archaeologists often distinguish between the historical Minos and the mythological Minos. The historical Minos is the ruler who brought prosperity to Crete, unified its cities, and established a powerful navy. The mythological Minos, on the other hand, is the king who angered the gods, fathered a monster, and demanded human sacrifices. This distinction is not made to discredit the myth, but rather to highlight the complexities of interpreting ancient narratives. It's a delicate balance between acknowledging the historical realities and appreciating the rich tapestry of myth and legend. The legend of the Minotaur, like many other myths, intertwines with the threads of history, blurring the boundaries between fact and fiction. It reflects the ancient people's attempt to understand their world and their rulers. Whether or not the Minotaur truly existed, its story has become an integral part of King Minos' narrative, painting a vivid picture of his reign. The legend of the Minotaur remains one of the most enduring tales from Minos' rule. King Minos was more than just a king. He was a figure of myth and legend. Born of a divine union between Zeus and Europa, he rose to become the ruler of Knossos, the largest city of the Minoan civilization. His rule marked the zenith of this civilization, and his influence was so profound that the entire era bears his name. Minos was not only a king but a lawmaker, said to have been in direct consultation with Zeus every 9 years. His laws were just, and his rule was so righteous that legends tell us he became the chief judge in Hades, assessing the actions of the departed. It was this sense of justice that allowed him to unite the cities of Knossos under one kingdom, creating a powerful naval force that dominated the Mediterranean. Yet the life of Minos is also steeped in myth and the supernatural. His birth from a divine union, the gifts from Zeus, and the tale of the Minotaur all point to a life beyond that of a mere mortal. His rule was marked by a blend of fact and legend, a tapestry of history and myth that continues to captivate us today. But what if these myths held a kernel of truth? What if supreme beings did indeed intervene in his rule? This is a question that archaeologists continue to debate. While some dismiss these stories as the product of an active imagination, others argue that we should not be so quick to label these tales as mere mythology. After all, the Minoan civilization was anything but primitive. The civilization that Minos led was advanced, its influence far-reaching. It was a civilization that built a powerful navy, created just laws, and left an indelible mark on history. To dismiss its stories as mere myths would be to disregard the complexity and sophistication of this ancient society. Whether a demigod or a human king, Minos' impact on the Minoan civilization and the world beyond is undeniable. His story, a blend of myth and history, continues to intrigue and inspire, reminding us of the enduring power of the past.